What's up, family? Peace and light. It's Traveling Sister. If this is your first time joining the channel, then welcome. If not, welcome back, family. Thank you for everyone who has been calling, checking in on us, making sure we're all good. Thank you for the people who've been sending the videos. Y'all are really showing up and spreading information and trying to keep each other informed and keep me informed. And I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I've gotten some very, very, very informative videos and articles from you guys, and I just want to say thank you, okay? So today's video is just going to be another quick little update about things going on in Tanzania and just some of my thoughts that I have on the whole situation at hand, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and start off with the numbers real quick. As of today, which is the 21st of April, there are 254 confirmed cases of the coronavirus here in Tanzania. 11 people have recovered and 10 people have passed away from the virus allegedly. I say allegedly just because it's already been exposed that there's pressure from different organizations and different government systems to basically lie about the coronavirus deaths and say that the cause of death was due to the coronavirus when in factuality it was not. You know, they've been pushing that for the doctors and stuff to sign off on that to invoke fear in people. Okay, so I guess you can kind of see where this video is going to be going. But it's not that people aren't passing away from the virus itself, and it's not that this virus isn't a real thing. It's a very real thing. People are dying, but they are using scare tactics to you know, just to put everything together, to put their big plan together to vaccinate people. And it was called to my attention by a sister who lives out here in the Moshi, Kilimanjaro region. Shout out to you, sis, for being the first person to bring this to my attention. But I'm going to try and find the article real quick. I'm definitely going to paste it into the video as I do and provide the link in the description section below. You know, I can't even find it right now, so I'm gonna do what I said. But anyways, basically she got a message from the US Embassy saying that they were evacuating Americans from Tanzania, and it's job to find transportation from DC to your hometown or whatever. And they did this all in efforts to control the coronavirus or control the spread of the coronavirus and ensure the safety of the American people. It didn't make sense to me to do that. Like, not here in Tanzania, just to be real. Last time I checked, let me just get a real number because y'all be, excuse me, traveling sister, actually, so, okay, last time I checked, it was less than 300 cases here in Tanzania. Only 10 deaths. So and that's a lot of countries, you guys. A lot of countries don't even have the numbers that they're saying that they have. And a lot of countries, especially here on the continent, have far, far exponentially less numbers than America. So how does it make sense, okay, to leave a country that has less than 1,000 coronavirus cases and go to a country, okay, America as of right now, it says 799,000. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the day, it's going to be up to 800,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus in America. That's number one in the whole world, you guys. It's number one right now. Why? And people were showing pictures when I was just looking this stuff up. People were showing pictures of lines wrapped around the embassy building and people trying to get their paperwork together to get out and stuff like that. And I'm just scratching my head on that one. That's a scare tactic, you know, because what I feel like they're going to do they're gonna, of course, they're trying to implement all these vaccines. They're testing, or 40 some vaccines plus are in development right now. They're gonna test these so-called vaccines soon. But my thing is, like, I know that they're going to try to implement, you can't travel outside of the country. You cannot be issued a passport, because you know they stopped issuing passports. They stopped making them for right now. You can't be issued a passport, or you can't be allowed to travel outside of the country without proof of vaccination. They're shipping us back in droves. Y'all are just, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are walking into their trap. Like, so for any of my diasporans out there that are here in Tanzania or just anywhere else abroad, like, if your passport is good and you have the means to stay where you are, I mean, I know it might not, you know, be what you're used to. It's not home. It might not, you know, you might not have all the niceties and the comforts that you normally would have. But diasporans, like, they're trying to eliminate us. They are trying to eradicate us, okay? Like, and just not only us, but just people in general, but specifically us. This message is specific for us, okay? It's time that we wake up. Why? Why would you go back to a country where their plan is very, very well laid out and very, very available to the public? This is not, at this point, ignorance. If you don't know about it, it's your choice. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is a choice at this point. You have to actually struggle to not know this information. You know, to not be aware of the grand plan that is going on right now. So, you know, I guess I'm just saying all of that to say beware, okay? Beware of their tricks. They ain't even clever with it either. It's like, it's just so blatantly in your face. It's almost an insult, you guys. So needless to say, I won't be going anywhere. And shout out to all the people who sent me the different links and stuff pertaining to that. So I just want to move back to the numbers and things. And so across the African continent, there are, as of 420, there are 23,517 confirmed cases. Let's just go ahead and say 24,000. And 1,160 deaths from that. 6,000 some odd people have recovered, according to africanews.com. And I just wanted to give y'all those numbers, as I did in my last video where I was speaking on the coronavirus, COVID-19, just to show you the lies, all right? Just to show you the plot, to expose the plot for, and I know all of y'all been doing y'all research, because y'all, look, y'all be in my inbox, y'all be letting me know what's up, sending me the video, sending me the links, and you know what I'm saying, y'all are very well informed. But just for those of you who may not know about the push for testing here on the continent, the push for acceptance of these so-called vaccines and stuff here on the continent, you know, clearly the whole continent, not talking about 54 countries, the whole continent of Africa is has the least confirmed cases of almost anywhere, yet they're still so adamant to push. A whole bunch of theories as to why they want to test here on the continent. But we all know, like I said, it's a push to eradicate us, to eliminate Black people, African descendants from the face of this globe. And then somehow African Americans in America have become the face of the coronavirus in America. We all know about these Chinese people and how they are treating Africans and African descendants in their country right now, sleeping on the streets, beating. I saw one video. They were literally beating a man in the street with metal poles. You feel me? And you know, people are going homeless. My first thought about that was, okay, what if some of our people, our African people over there, actually have contracted a virus? They're not letting them in restaurants and they're not letting them in stores and stuff. So I wonder, are they letting them in the hospitals to get treated? If they actually do have this, are people dying on the streets? Are people dying on the streets over there? I have an African American friend in Hong Kong, and she said it's not so bad there on Hong Kong because it's an island off of the mainland of China. It's not so bad, but there are still microaggressions and things like that that she's receiving and stuff like that. But mainland China is really where the brunt of this racism and things are taking place. The Chinese people have been hating us. You know, my mother and my grandparents, they lived over there way back in, I think, the 60s or the 70s, okay? They lived in Taiwan, and that's an island as well off of the, I think, the East Coast. Yeah, off of the East Coast of the mainland China. And basically, they would, you know, my mom and my grandparents would tell me stories about how they would point and stare. They had this Colgate ad, like this billboard or whatever. And it was like one of those old school like cartoons. And you know those old school racist cartoons where the cartoon is just pitch black and they have these big pink lips and just these big white teeth, and they're walking around like, duh, 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 yes, massa, doing all that type of stuff. And my mom and them told me that they would point at them and say the name like Colgate, Colgate, like, oh, you're the people in the ad, you know. And just really strange acting towards them, you know, microaggressions. We know how that feels. And I'm sure you're aware of the photographic series where they showed different animals, monkeys and such, and then the monkey is making one face and they have a picture of an African man or a woman right next to the monkey making the same face, likening us to animals. You know what I'm saying? Subconsciously, you already know what that does to people. They're not even assigning us the dignity of a human being. You know, subconsciously, that's what the message is sending. They're, you know, they're basically saying that we are subhuman people. So the Chinese people have been against us from day one. It's not anything new. And I can say that I am proud that some of the leaders here are stepping up and bringing that situation to light to the people here and, you know, to the rest of the world. There's videos of, you know, African leaders confronting Chinese leaders head on and asking, like, what is this? You know, people are fighting back. I know y'all probably heard of the situation in Ivory Coast where they burned down the coronavirus testing center. Even here in Tanzania, our own president, Magufuli, has canceled $10 billion loan, you know, from the Chinese, saying basically that only a mad person, a crazy person would accept these terms. You know, so I feel like a lot of people are opening their eyes and waking up to the fact that, yo, Chinese people and this whole new scramble for Africa, because it's not only China, but you know, the bulk of it is. This new scramble for Africa is not good for the continent, and we need to unify, you know? I don't know how many times people have to say this. I don't know how many times people have to die for this. I don't know how many times we have to hear it for it to sink in. And not only continental Africans that have to unify, us diasporans as well. And it needs to be an interlocking between the two forces. They're trying to take everything away from the continent. They've been taking everything away from the continent. Basically just giving the continent pennies for its natural gas, for its diamonds, for its gold, for its minerals, for everything. Even for its labor. You feel me? Like all these Chinese companies that come out here, who do you think they hire for their construction work? You know, and pay little to nothing for their labor. They hire African people. I've seen a few companies hire their own Chinese people and stuff, and best believe they're getting paid very good wages. But they throw us pennies for these invaluable assets that they're basically stealing. And they go to their countries, build up their economy, build, you know, all types of infrastructure, make all types of improvements, things like that. But we are still dry. We are still, you know, lacking in infrastructure. We are still, you know, lacking a lot of basic things that we should have. So I hope President Magufuli could be an example to a lot of these African leaders. I'm not, you know, trying to get into politics or anything. That is not my bag, but I'm just trying to bring things to light to people who may be unaware. And another thing that I really, really want to speak on is the fact that we need to repatriate back to Africa, back to Al-Kabaline, African diasporans specifically. You are who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to anybody else, and for those of you who are not of African descent who watch my channel, how you can help, in this effort, just keep informing your people, keep letting them know what's really going on. But this is a call to my brothers and my sisters. It's time for us to take back Africa. You feel me? It's time for us to return home, and it's time for us to take our rightful place in this world, which is a world power, period. Unification. What's going to happen if we don't unify? We're just going to be sold off bit by bit. It's already been a big problem here on the continent anyways of, people saying it's becoming a new China and things like that, just because we've sold off our assets to a point where we cannot, and taken loans from the Chinese to a point where we can't repay, and they know that, so we in their pocket. And it's really heartbreaking. It's really disheartening, but I feel, and I felt for years, that we are on the brink of something huge. Before I was even awakened to the point of where I am today, I felt it. I knew it. You couldn't tell me nothing. We are on the brink of something spectacular. Some people aren't going to like it, but it's going to be good for the whole. Okay. I feel like we're here to restore peace, restore order, and take our rightful place on the thrones. Black people, Africa for the Africans, at home and abroad, period. And I am advocating a push towards that, because things here on earth, not only in America, not in the West specifically, not wherever you're from, but just on earth, it's about to change. Like, nothing is going back to the way that you knew it before. Nothing. The way that the powers at be are trying to manipulate our lives and to control our lives is really of science fiction proportion. Seriously. It's something like you would see in the movies. And they are trying to control every single aspect of our life, from how we interact on social media, which they're already doing. Censorship, they're censoring everything. Everything. Y'all saw what happened to Dr. Mumby's channel. They paused it. They put her on punishment for a week because she's speaking the truth and because she is putting information out there. That is the truth. It's already social media, and how we get our media is already started. The warfare on that has already started. The warfare on food, our food products, that's already started. And y'all, that's such a big one. Y'all know about Monsanto. Y'all know about the whole GMO movement. And these things are causing us to be ill. These things are causing us, different ailments and things, cancer, heart failure, liver diseases, and all types of things. My next video that I'm going to put up is just showing you how Freddie and I, because in our front yard, we don't have a whole lot of room. So we just want to show y'all how we are just doing our little part. It's so little, you know what I'm saying? But we're taking, where's the water bottle? I know I have a water bottle somewhere around here. We're taking the water bottles, cutting them in half, poking holes in the bottom of them so the water can come through, putting soil and planting our own seeds. We have about 20 of them out there right now. We have 3 or 4 mango trees that we've, planted the seeds for, and I'm going to show you the whole process of doing that. But, it's little things like that you can do, just to start. Okay. When the stores open back up and things, go to Lowe's, get you a bag of manure. It's like $15, get you some potted pots or whatever you want to make it cute, but you can get you some water bottles. Look, I use this to paint in, or to hold my paintbrushes, but just something like this. Cut it in half, you feel me? And do it that way, do something towards your salvation, towards your self-sustainability, because that's what it's all about right now. More and more people are moving towards living off grid, living in earth bags, living in mud homes, excuse me, going on full solar, you feel me? Not depending on any system, not depending on any, anything that's been already put in place by the government and things like that. And that's what we really need, you guys. That's self-sustainability, because the more you're tied into the system, more you're tied into the grid, the less control you have over your life, the more they can control what happens. And out here in Tanzania, I feel like it's a perfect place to do such a thing because, A, you have natural beauty, natural nature all around you, okay? It's not tainted yet. Not saying that it won't happen, but, at least you're delaying it by a few decades, hell, maybe even a century or two, because the way things are just raw and natural out here. And the person that's in power, I don't feel like President Magufuli will allow certain things to go down in this country. Big ups to him, like, for real. But I feel like it's very doable to live a sustainable lifestyle out here, because so many people in the society still do that and live this way without having to go through a type of revolution that we've had to go through in the West. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about, like the mini revolution where it's seemingly out of nowhere everyone's a vegan now, and seemingly out of nowhere everyone is health conscious and everyone is environmentally conscious and this, that, and the third. But you have, tribes here, you have people here who live specifically off the land, period. They build their homes off the land. They eat off the land. They, everything, their whole livelihood is the land, okay? So it won't be too much of a big cost financially, a big burden financially. It won't be too much of what do you call it? Just a social shock type of thing. If somebody sees you building a mud home, or if somebody sees you, I haven't seen too many earth bags out here. I am going to say that, but to have a natural lifestyle, it's not going to be like, oh, wow, look at that person, they're farming, or, oh, wow, look at that person, they have solar on their house. I know people like who have full solar on their house and they live only off of solar. They're not connected to the grid. And that's a very normal thing out here. It's not like, a big surprise or like something glamorous or something to be applauded about. Like, a lot of people, we have solar lights in this house, but this is a rental house and we are still connected to the grid in this house. But when the power goes out, we use solar lights at least. But we do plan to build up our own property in the next few years. And you bet your bottom dollar it's going to be all solar. I'm not sure yet whether we're going to do mud or earth bags, but the way it's looking, I think we're just going to go ahead and do the cement, which is natural as well. But yeah, we're definitely going to build that up, and it's a sizable piece of land, at least enough to put our own little farm on there, at least to sustain ourselves, sustain our family and our eating needs and things like that. But yeah, food, very important. And you guys, food is either going to be a catalyst for your destruction or a catalyst for good health. No in between. The earth in its natural state is full of abundant natural medicines, you guys, like just the fruits and the vegetables alone. Not even talking about herbalism, not even going that deep into herbalism. But if you just eat right and you eat the foods that are rich in vitamins and minerals, then that can definitely be a shield. And even right down to things like making your own toothpaste. I've been off regular toothpaste since 2014. I have not. It's been one time that I let regular fluoride toothpaste touch my mouth since then. And that was because I had forgot my toothpaste at home, and I was at my brother's house and I just used his toothpaste or whatever. But even that was Tom's. Like, it says no fluoride and whoop, natural. Fluoride calcifies your pineal gland, and if you're not familiar with what the pineal gland is, I suggest that you do your research and educate yourself on the functions of the pineal gland and how it interacts with us melanated beings and everything. Very important. A lot of fluoride makes you more docile. Fluoride is like literally like poisoning our bodies. Fluoride brittles your bone and enamel in excess. Okay, if you're intaking too much fluoride, it can actually weaken your bones and enamel and things like that. And ever since I've been off of regular toothpaste, like pearly whites, okay. So, like, you know, the dentist saying my teeth are healthy, they look good, and this, that, and the third. You know, so basically what I was using for a while was baking soda and peroxide. You know, I would wet my toothbrush, dip it in a little baking soda, squirt some peroxide over. I had like a little squirt bottle, you know, of peroxide about that big. And yeah, just squirt it over and it foams up just like regular toothpaste. It doesn't taste terrible, but it doesn't have that minty flavor that you want. You can put flavoring in the peroxide or do whatever you want. I just do it straight. But now I have moved from peroxide to coconut oil. So it's coconut oil and baking soda every day, y'all. Coconut oil and baking soda. You know, just little steps like that you can take to just reduce the intake of fluoride into your body, reduce the intake of harmful chemicals and harmful substances into your body that they want to keep us on. Ultimately, they want to keep us on all that bullshit. We have to do our part. We have to start, all right? And we have to start inside, and we have to start doing the work outside. Like I said, joining together as an African people globally, taking back what's rightfully ours, and knowing our power, walking in our power, honey. They need us. Where would the West be? Like that, like the lady said in that one video, where would the West be without Africa? Their riches, and they owe it to us. Where would the West be without our diamonds, our minerals, our copper, you know, our coltan? Where? Trust me, they need us more than we need them. All of these, the aid that they're, you know, trying to give us, and these, bringing out all these vaccines and this and the third. We already know. We had somebody admit on that documentary. Excuse me, I'm gonna see if I can insert a clip too. We've already had someone admit that they've given us the AIDS virus here on the continent, HIV/AIDS, Ebola outbreak that was manufactured. There's a patent for Ebola. How can you patent a disease if it wasn't created? Okay, you know, and I'm pretty sure there's a patent for this coronavirus too. Yeah, you guys, we have to, it's time to wake up, and people are waking up. People here on the continent and people who are not on the continent. Everybody's waking up, and it's so, oh my God, it fills me with so much joy and hope to see people, my people, waking up. And it's almost confirmation as to what, you know, what my projections in my mind for the future of the continent and for the future of Black people, it's confirming that those conjectures are true. We will rise. We are in a state of ascension. We're about to change the world. You just got to do your part, and you just have to believe that you are walking in your purpose, and you have to do your self-work. You have to raise your vibrational energy. You have to seek out those things that you need healing from so that you can be the best person you can be. Because if everyone individually does their work, the collective can be stronger. Put good things in your body when it comes to food, when it comes to what you watch, what you consume. Your diet is not only what you put in your mouth. You feel me? Stop watching all this garbage about these reality TV BS, you know, showing us in only this ratchet light. You know, come on, yo, uplift yourself, come up out of that. Like, if that's your guilty pleasure, whatever, you know, everyone has their guilty pleasure, but stop feeding that to you. Stop feeding that to your spirit. And then you got people going around quoting stupid shit that they say on these shows, acting like them. Oh, this person was wearing that, so it's hot right now, so I'm going to get me one. Oh, you guys, stop. You know what I'm saying? Come up out of that. Do some self-work. Put some good things into your body. Garbage in, garbage out. Period. Because we have work to do. We have work to do. And for those who aren't ready, y'all is just going to fall behind, really. For those people who don't want to take the time to do the self-work, for those people who refuse to believe what's laid out in front of them, and who still want to be cradled and nurtured by the mainstream media, for those people who don't believe in the unifications of African globally, you are not the ones that we want anyway. You're not. You're not the ones that we want. We want the people who believe in this. We want the people to come here who have faith in the people who have been doing their work. We want the people who believes in the power of the African continent, of the African people collectively. It's time. And I don't really need to say no more about that. If you know, you know. Okay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Just be on the lookout for our little home gardening video, just maybe some ideas or whatever, how you guys can start your own little home gardens on your balconies and, in your windowsills and stuff like that. It's time, diasporans. Okay. Y'all already know what it is. I love